Hello everyone. So today I thought I'll probably give you my views on using org mode all the time. Now recently I was watching some videos and I noticed that some people actually try to use org mode for each and everything, which is great, by the way. I mean, this is what I also do. I use org mode for a lot of things. But when it comes to pure note taking, org mode is wonderful. I mean, you have when you have access to a laptop, which I believe is the case for most of us, we always have the option to just open the laptop whenever we are talking to someone, or maybe we are in a meeting, or maybe if we have to remind ourselves, we can always take notes. And org mode is wonderful. You can actually take notes really nicely in a nice fashion by organizing different headers, subheaders, and you have a lot of different functionalities. Now the thing is, if you're using org mode, and by the way, I recently also mentioned that using org mode, you also have the option to sync your notes with the Android app. Now what I wanted to talk about today is that I don't really use org mode like 24/7. When I say 24/7, I always have with me. I mean, by the way, if you don't know, I mean, I make videos on this particular channel, but I'm not really a YouTuber. I do like work with people. I do work with organizations. I'm a consultant, and I'm mostly, talking to someone, maybe in a meeting. It could be a face-to-face meeting. I mean, recently, after the lockdown, we have started going to the actual place where people used to work, called office. So I do go to office, and I do interact with others, and most of the times I do have access to my org mode files. But let us say if I'm working on my client's laptop, let us say if I'm working with someone where I want to take notes, but not really purely in the terms of note format, but sometimes you have to draw something. I mean, of course, using org mode you can draw things, but sometimes it is just better to draw things as it is. For example, if someone is trying to explain, let us say, some kind of hierarchy or some process flow, so you have to basically do the same thing using your own notes, handwritten notes. And I always have this notepad with me, always. Like this notepad is basically, even if I'm going to, I mean, it may sound a bit too much, but I have like a smaller notepad which I keep with me all the time. I may be just going to the local grocery store to buy milk, but I always have this ability to write something somewhere. So I do that all the time. So I have this notepad with me, and apart from this notepad, which is something that I try to do wherever applicable in a square format. So basically, when you are working on notepads, you need, I personally prefer notepads that you can, the pages that you can tear apart, these perforated ones. And this one has normal lines, but I prefer the squared ones, so that, it is something that I prefer. I prefer squared lines. I don't know why, but I just like them. But I think as long as you have a piece of paper, which I believe you should. So apart from this notepad, I love writing, taking notes with actual pen, or it could be a marker, for example, like this. And I do have like a whiteboard which I use, and this particular whiteboard is basically, let us say I'm in my room, or basically I don't really have access to the computer. If I don't have access to the computer, if I don't really feel like, sometimes you need like a visual, very clear reminders that you can see straight away. I mean, of course, org mode will give you this agenda view, but that is basically within your computer. I mean, you can sync it with your mobile phone, but of course, I'm talking about some physical, actual, offline way of looking at things. And if there is something very urgent, or I don't really want to forget, I always make sure I write it down somewhere. And at the same time, apart from the notepad, apart from the small notepad, like a smaller version of this, which I keep with me all the time, I also have this whiteboard with me, which is something I always carry with me in, not really carry with me in the train, but if I'm, let us say, walking from my living room, I may not be able to basically, I mean, I can actually. It's not really a big whiteboard, but this particular small portable whiteboard is always with me, which I like to keep with me all the time. And this particular marker is wonderful because you can write things in big font and you can actually get reminders. And this is what I do. This is what I like doing because I'm not really a kind of person where I want my desk to be neat. If you look at my desk, I think I've shown you my desk. It is a bit messy. I want everything to be in front of me. And the reason is that I want things to be accessible. So if I need a pen, I basically have a pen and a pencil holder. So I don't really want to search. I don't really want to spend even 2 minutes searching for the pen or pencil. I need everything to be in front of me, with me. So that is why I always prefer using, of course I use org mode for majority of the planned activities, but for those random thoughts and ideas and things that are extremely important, I always use actual paper. And I think I've mentioned this in the past. I use org mode to keep track of my goals, but at the same time, every day I write my goals on my notepad. So I am basically reminding myself in my own handwriting, my great handwriting, that yes, I have to do this thing. Yes, I have to maybe buy a Ferrari, or I want to buy a house in south of France. So basically I always prefer and I always keep some way of actual note taking, like traditional note taking capability with me. And of course, org mode is there to not only supplement. It is not really a secondary thing. It is definitely a primary thing. But when it comes to using org mode within Emacs, it is more about, okay, I need to do something and I need to plan it. But it is not really for those cases where you're probably walking and you have that wonderful idea, or maybe you're on the phone with someone, you need to write down a phone number, or maybe you just want to draw something. You always need, I believe, there is no, I don't think we'll ever reach a point or a stage where we'll completely get rid of the actual piece of paper and pen. Maybe one day we'll probably have something like, maybe within, I'm sure we can still do it. For example, OneNote. There was a time when I considered buying Surface, like Microsoft Surface, because it is portable laptop and I like the idea. But I don't really think, I've tried it. I've tried using, digital pens and writing on the screen. But no, I don't really think there is any better way of doing things without a proper laptop. You need a laptop, you need a computer for of course, inputting your notes in the computer. But maybe one day we'll probably have that particular, maybe we'll reach that stage where we'll just write something on piece of paper, or it could be some notepad and it will be converted to org mode task. Maybe one day, but till then, I guess I'll probably keep using this notepad. And that is it. That is all I wanted to talk about and share today with all of you. I know I've not really shown you anything on Emacs or org mode, but what I wanted to talk about today is, of course, if you're thinking of using org mode, yes, you should do it. But at the same time, don't think and don't really consider throwing away your notepad. You will always need it. Okay, bye-bye.